Hello guys, welcome to another video. This one is paper 1-2 of Pure Math of May-June 2020. So let's move on to question number 1. So here, as you can see, it says to find the coefficient of x squared in the expansion of this function. Now, how do you expand this? As you can see in the formula, it will be just like a normal binomial expansion. I hope by now you know how to do this, so let's do this step by step. So the first term will become 6, choose 0, and then the first one is x, you times x. So 6 minus 0 is 6, and then choose this one will be minus 2 over x power 0. That's the first term. Now let's use a different color so we can see the second term properly. Second term will be 6, choose 1, times x. 6 minus 1 is 5, so 5, and then minus 2 over x will be 1. Now, third term. So we have to keep doing this until the 6 choose 6. So we have a few steps to go. So 6 choose 2 times x power 4, then minus 2 over x power 2. Then next one, plus 6 choose 3 times x power 3, and then times minus 2 over x power 3. Then plus 6 choose 4 times x power 2, and then minus 2 over x power 4. Then one more time, 6 choose 5, x power 1, and then minus 2 over x power 5. And the last term will be 6 choose 6, x power 0, and then minus 2 over x power 6. So now you have to simplify every term. The first term is 6 choose 0 is 1 times x power 6, and anything power 0 will be 1, right? Now plus, what is 6 choose 1? It is 6. You can always use your calculator to verify. So 6 choose 1 will be 6, right? 6 times x power 5, and then minus 2 over x. Now plus the next term. So what is 6 choose 2? So 6 choose 2, that will be 15. 15 times x power 4. Now power 2, that will become 4 over x squared. Okay, move on to the fourth term. So let's do this here. So plus 6 choose 3. So 6 choose 3, that will be 20. So 20 times x power 3 times minus 8 over x cubed. Now let's move on to 6 choose 4. 6 choose 4, that is 15. And then we have x power 2, and then what is 2 power 4? 2 power 4, it will be 16. 16 over x power 4. And we have 6 choose 5, so plus 6 choose 5, that will be 6 times x, and 2 power 5 will be 32, but we have minus 32 over x power 5. Now the last term will be 6 choose 6 will be 1 plus, so 6 choose 6 will be 1 times x power 0 is also 1, and this will be, what is 2 power 6? 64 over x power 6. So now you can see that for every power which is even, it will be positive, and for every power which is odd, it will be negative. Odd powers. I hope you guys know why it is like this, but this will be your expansion, and now you have to simplify again. So first term will be 1 times this times this, that will be x power 6. Now plus or minus, right? Because minus 2 times 6 will be minus 12, and then x goes away, that will be 4. X power 4. Now plus 15 times 4 will be 60, and that will be x squared. And then expand this one as well. This one will go away, minus 160, and this one will be 2 here. So what is 15 times 16? So 15 times 16, that will be plus 240 over x is gone away, so x cancel out, so we have 2, actually yeah, we have 2 remaining, sorry, 2 remaining, And then what else? Here, minus 32 times 6. Minus 32 times 6, that will be minus 192 over x power 4. And then the last term will be 1, that will be 64 over this. So let's rewrite this down again, simplify as simple as we can. So our expansion will give us x power 6 minus 12x power 4 plus 60x power 2 minus 160 plus 240 over x power 2 minus 192 over x power 4, and then that is plus 64 over x power 6. So this is the expansion of this function right here. Now the question is to find the coefficient of x squared in this expansion. So let's find x squared. So x squared is here. The coefficient will be this number right here. So you will write coefficient of x squared is equal to 60. So this will be your answer for part 1. Now for part B, we have again to find the coefficient of x squared in the expansion of this. So we know when we expand this, we have this expansion right here. So but the question here, we only have to find the coefficient of x squared. So instead of doing everything, of expanding everything, let's find the term which will give us the coefficient of x squared. For example, 2. So if you expand this, it will become 2 times this plus 3x squared times this. Right. So this and this is equal to this big term right here. Now for this term, let's find out 2 times what thing will give you something in x squared. So if you observe, 2 times this number here will give you something in x squared, 60x squared. Because if you times by anything else, it would not be in x squared, so it's useless. Now same thing, we have 3x squared. Now we have to choose what term can we times in this to will give you x squared. So you can only times this one, minus 160, so it can give you x squared. Because if you times by anything else, it would not be x squared. Okay, now we can simplify. So 120 x squared. So 3 times minus 160. That will be minus 480. So minus 480 x squared. So what is 120 minus 480? That will be 360. Of course, but the answer is the coefficient. So you will write down coefficient of x squared is given by minus 360. Okay, that will be your answer part B for question number 1. Now let's move on to question number 2. So here we have expressed the equation as a quad equation in sine theta. So first thing you observe is we have tan. So what is tan? You must know that tan theta is equal to sine theta over cos theta. Right. Now we replace it in the equation. You will have 3 cos theta equal to 8 times sine theta over cos theta. Now we can cross multiply. You will have 3 cos square theta equal to 8 sine theta. Now you see you have cos square theta here. As you know, sine square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. So we make this subject of formula. So cos square theta will be 1 minus sine square theta. So we place back in this equation. You will have 3 times cos square theta is equal to 1 minus sine square theta. From this is equal to 8 sine theta. Now expand, you will have 3 minus 3 sine square theta equal to 8 sine theta. Now if you simplify, let's bring everything to one side. You will have 3 sine square theta plus 8 sine theta and minus 3 equal to 0. So this is your answer as a quad equation. So this is what you need to show for your part 1. Now for part B, it says Hence, find the acute angle in degrees for which this equals to this. So this is the same equation as in part 1. So we have to solve this to find the value of theta in degrees for an acute angle. Now, what is an acute angle? Acute angle is between 0 and 90. That will be an acute angle. So let's find that angle. So how do we solve this equation? So 3 sine square theta plus 8 sine theta minus 3 equals to 0. So one thing we can do here, because this may look confusing, you can say let x equal to sine theta. For example, now you will have 3x squared plus 8x minus 3. So I hope now you can solve this pretty easily. So first step, you have to factorize this equation. You will have bracket, bracket. Since we have x squared, we have two brackets. Now 3x squared is equal to 3x times x, 3x squared. Now 3 can be 1 times 3, so we put 3 here and 1 here. The reason why we put this here is because we have to get plus 8. So 3x times 3 will be 9, so we have to be plus 9 minus 1 to be plus 8. Now we verify. We see this sign is negative, so minus times plus, it should give you negative. So this one is good. So solve for the value of x. So 3x minus 1 equals to 0. X plus 3 equal to 0. Now x here will be 1 over 3. X here will be minus 3. So now you have to remember, x is actually sine theta. So bring this back. So tan theta is equal to 1 over 3. And sine theta is equal to minus 3. This one will not be valid because you have to know that the value of sine theta is always between 1 and minus 1. It cannot go more than this value, so it cannot be minus 3. So it will not be valid for this one. How about this one? So the value of sine is positive, so as you know by your quadrants, it can be here or it can be here. But right now we only are trying to find the acute angle, so we have to find sine theta will be sine inverse of 1 over 3. So let's find that. So 1 divided by 3, sine inverse of answer, that will be 19.5. So your answer for your angle will be 19.5. So theta will be 19.5 for the acute angle. And that is question number 2. So let's move on to question number 3. So let's see what we have here. It says a weather balloon is in the shape of a sphere. The sphere is like a ball. It's being inflated by a pump. Now the volume of the balloon is increasing at a constant rate of 600 centimeter cube per second. So the volume is increasing at a rate. It means that dV by dt is equal to 600 centimeter cube per second. This is the information that is given to us. The volume is increasing at a rate of this. The balloon was empty at the start of the pumping. At first the volume was 0. Now part 1, find the radius of the balloon. So we have to find the value of r after 30 seconds. So when t is equal to 30. So what is the volume when t equals to 30? Because we know that the volume was increasing at the rate of 600 per second. So after 30 seconds, it will be 600 times 30. That will be 18,000 centimeter cube. So after t equal to 30, the volume will be 18,000 centimeter cube. So how would you find the volume, the value of r? As you know, volume of sphere is given to you by a formula, which is 4 over 3 pi r cubed. So you have to know this. This is very important in this question. So we know this is equal to 18,000. So let's find the value of r. So r cubed will be 18,000 divided by, this is 3, 3, cross multiply 3, 4 becomes here and pi becomes here. So let's find the value of r cubed first. 3 times 18,000 divided by 4 pi. That will be 4297.18. The value of r will be cube root of this value, which will give you, so cube root, that will be 16.3. Or you can write 16.2, so correct to 3SF, it will be 16.3 centimeters for the value of the radius. So let's write this down here. The radius R is equal to 16.3 centimeters. Now for part B, we have to find the rate of increase of radius after t equal to 30. So what does this mean? Rate of increase of radius. So we have to find dr by dt. Now if you break this down, how do you find dr by dt? So on top you have dr, let's write dr. You have to multiply, and on the bottom you have dt. So now what links radius and time in this question? You will see that both have volume in, because for the first one it is given that dv by dt given to you, and dr by dv that we don't know yet, but we know that from this formula you have v and r being connected together. So let's use that to find this value here. So first off, we know that v is equal to 4/3 pi r cube. So from this we can find dv by dr. That will be 4 pi r square. So now we have to find the value of dv by dr at t equal to 30. So t equal to 30, as you can see, for when t equal to 30, the value of r was given to you as 16.3. So we have to replace the value of r by 16.3 square. So let's see what we have. That is dv by dr. So 4 pi times 16.3 square. That will be 3338.759. Now, because now we are looking for the value of dr by dv, that will be 1 over this value. 3338.8 equal to dr by dv. Okay, so that's the first step. So this one, so for this value, luckily we have this value right here, 600. So we just have to replace. So dr by dt will be equal to 1 divided by 3338.8 times 600. Okay, let's see what we have. Answer will be this. So 1 divided by answer times 600. That will be 0.1797. So your answer will be 0.180 centimeter per second for dr by dt, correct to 3SF. So this will be your answer for part B. And this is question number 3. Okay, now let's move on to question number 4. Now it says the nth term of an arithmetic progression. So you already know what kind of progression is this one. It is arithmetic. It's given to you by this term. So what do you know about arithmetic progression? So you know the formulas. Usually it will be given to you, as you can see here. Arithmetic series, the nth term is given by this. So let's write this down. Un, which is the nth term, is given by a plus n minus 1 d. And the sum of first n term is given by this formula. So let's write this down. Sn is given by half n 2a plus n minus 1 times d. So usually you have to know this from practice as well. You will have to know these two formulas to do this question. So now the first information says that the nth term is given by this. So we equate the nth term, which is a plus n minus d, n minus 1d equal to 3n minus 50. So one thing we can do here is we can try to express this as this, right? So let's do that. So first let's just put the half outside. And as you can see, we have 3n and minus 15. We can take out 3. You have 3 outside. You'll have n minus 5 remaining. Now we have to make this become minus 1. So how would you make that? You will just rewrite this down. So n minus 1 minus 4. So I hope you understand minus 5 is just minus 1 minus 4. Right, so same thing right here. Now you can break this down even further. That will be half 3 n minus 1. You take out minus 4, 3. So if you want to take out 4, you will become minus 4 times 3. You take it outside. That's why it becomes like this. Now again simplify half 3 n minus 1 minus 12. Now if you simplify, that become minus 6 plus 1.5 n minus 1. So now if you compare this and with this, you will see that a plus d n minus 1. So from this you can clearly see that the value of a is equal to minus 6 and the value of d is equal to 1.5. So here you say therefore a will be minus 6 and b will be 1.5. So now the question is to find for the value of n, find the value of n for which the sum of the first n term is 84. This is the formula for the first n term. So let's write this down. The sum for the first n term will be 84. We have to find the value of n for that sum. So the formula will be half n times 2 times a, which is minus 6, plus n minus 1 times d, which is 1.5, bracket equal to 84. So we can bring 2 on this side by cross multiply. So what is 84 times 2? That will be 168. So n, this is minus 12 plus 1.5, n minus 1, that will be 168. Now if you expand the brackets, you will have minus 12n plus 1.5n times n minus 1 equal to 168. So next step, we can expand the brackets. You will have minus 12n plus 1.5n squared minus 1.5n equal to 168. So now again we have to simplify. So 1.5n squared, this 2 will become minus 13.5n. We bring this on this side, it will become minus 168 equal to 0. Now we can multiply by 2 to make this one become whole numbers. So multiply by 2, you will have 3n squared minus 27n minus times 2, 336. So now if you observe, we can divide by 3. You will have n squared minus n minus divide by 3, which will be 112. So here you can either solve by factorization or you can solve by formula. So in this case, I can check. So I know that 112 has factors. Let's try. I'm not too sure anymore. So divide by 16. Yep, so 16, 7. So we can use that as my factorization to find the value of y. So n, and 16 will be here, 7 is here. For us to get minus 9, it has to be minus 16 plus 7. So you solve for your value of n will be 16, n will be equal to minus 7. So now we have to know what this n represents. N represents the number of terms. It cannot be negative, so it can only be n equal to 16. So now other thing is that if you cannot solve by factorization, you can always solve by using the formula, which is n equal to minus b plus minus b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. So you can use this formula, you will have the same answer as well, n equal to 16. Now let's move on to question number 5. We have the function f is defined by this function, where x equal to any real number. Now f of x equal to a minus 2x, okay, where a is a constant. Part 1, express f of x and f inverse of x in terms of a and x. So one by one, what is f x? It is the same as f of fx, which means a minus 2x become fx, which is a minus 2, a minus 2x, a minus 2a plus 4a. Now if you simplify, it becomes 4x, a minus 2a will become minus a. This will be your first value for this one. So now let's move on to f inverse of x. So what is f inverse? The first step is to find, you would say let y equal to fx, which is a minus 2x. Then we have to make x the subject of formula, that becomes 2x, we send x over here, that becomes a minus y. X becomes a minus y divided by 2. So from this, we'll have f inverse of x is in terms of x, that will be a minus x divided by 2. Okay, here you go. That will be your f inverse and your f of x. Now let's do for part B. So let's solve this one. So we equate one on each side. So this one given by 4x minus a is equal to this one, which is a minus x over 2. First step 2, cross multiply, becomes 8x minus 2a equal to a minus x. Now let's solve this. We have to find x in terms of a, so we have to solve for x. So bring x over here and become 9x equal to 3a. So x becomes 3a divided by 9, which is 1, so a over 3. So this will be your answer for part B, and that is question number 5. Okay, let's move on to question number 6. The equation of a curve is given by y, where k is a constant. Now part 1, given that the line is a tangent to the curve, find the value of k. So you have to understand what does a tangent mean in this question. So what does it mean is that? It means this line touches the curve at one point exactly. So what does this mean? It means that we have to use b squared minus 4ac equal to 0. That's what it means. So now the first step is to solve simultaneously. So we have three equations, y equal to 2x plus 3, and we have y equal to 2x squared plus 4 plus kx plus k minus 1. So here we have y, here we have y, we can solve simultaneously. You'll have 2x plus 3 equal to 2x squared plus kx plus k minus 1. Now we send everything to one side, you will have 2x squared plus kx minus 2x plus k minus 1 minus 3 equal to 0. Now let's simplify this. It becomes 2x squared. You factorize x outside, you will get k minus 2, x outside, then plus k minus 4 equal to 0. Now if you observe, your equation is in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c. This is a, this is b, and this is c. So we know that b squared minus 4ac equal to 0 according to this information. Now let's solve. B squared will be k minus 2 squared, 4 times a times c will be k minus 4 equal to 0. Now expand, you will have k squared minus 4k plus 4 minus 8 times k minus 4 equal to 0. If you expand, you will have this, and minus 8k plus 32 equal to 0. Now simplify again, you will have k squared minus 4k minus 8 will be minus 12k plus 36 equal to 0. As you can see, we have a quad equation that we have to solve. Let's continue this here. So k squared is just k times k. K times k. Now 36 will be 6 times 6. So minus for us to get minus 12. So k will be equal to 6. So value of k will be 6 for part 1. Now for part 2, it says it is now given that k equal to 2. So now your equation will be y equal to 2x squared plus 2x plus 2 minus 1, which is 2x squared plus 2x plus 1. That is the value for y. Now question, express the equation of a curve in the form of this, where a and b are constants, and hence state the coordinates of the vertex of the curve, basically the max point or the minimum point. So let's do this. So we have the complete squares. So one trick that I use is I like to rewrite this down. So I write 2x squared plus 2x. I leave some space. I say plus 1 on this side. Now for this one, 2 is the same. Let's take out 2. You will have x squared plus 1x remaining and plus 1. Now what we do is we have to take, this is the same, we have to take this value, so this is the same for now. We take 1, divide by 2, so 1, 2, bracket, square. Now since we add this, we have also to minus this, bracket square. But now since it was inside of this bracket 2, we have to also times 2. And then plus 1 remain the same. Now we can simplify. So this becomes 2, and this is x squared becomes x, plus you write plus, and you write this inside of half and square. This becomes, so 1 over 4 times 2 becomes minus 1 over 2. So let's try again. So let's double check. Yeah, that's correct. I don't know why I did that. So plus 1. That becomes 2x plus half plus half. Okay, let's double check. So 1 over 2 square times minus 2. That will be minus half. Plus 1 will be half. Now, question is, so since we have this in this form already, which is 2x plus a squared plus b, that is done in this form. Now the next question is to hence state the coordinates of the vertex of the curve. So you have to look on the inside. So you write x plus half, you have to equate this to 0, which means value of x will be equal to minus half. And the value of y will be just this one, which is half. So your vertex point will be, so that will be minus half, and b, which is half. This will be your vertex point of this curve. And this is question number 6. Okay, so now let's move on to question number 7. So I think in the question, this is the region that is shaded. Right. So let's do that again. Okay. So in the diagram, we have AOB is a sector of a circle, center O, and radius 2r. This is the radius 2r. Now we have angle AOB equal to 1 over 6 pi radians. Now the point C is a midpoint of OA, as you can see, midpoint. So question part 1 is to find the length of BC. So how would you find the length of BC? As you observe, you have this side, and we have the angle in between. So look at the triangle OCB. So we can use the cosine rule. So BC will be done by using the cosine rule. So cosine of the angle 1 over 6 pi will be equal to r squared plus 2r squared minus BC squared divided by 2 times r times 2r. That is just a formula you guys need to know for cosine rule. Okay. First step is to simplify. So what is 1 over 6 pi? So we know pi is 180 divided by 6. That is 30. Cos of 30, you must know, it is equal to root 3 over 2. Now this is equal to, this will be r squared plus 4r squared, which is 5r squared, minus bc squared over 4r squared. So 2 cancel 2. Now we cross multiply, you will have 2 root 3 r squared, 5r squared minus bc squared. So now we have to make BC the subject of formula. So we send this one on this side. You will have BC squared becomes 5r squared minus 2 root 3 r squared. Now we can factorize the r squared out. You will have r squared 5 minus 2 root 3. Now value of BC will be square root of this side. That will be r squared 5 minus root 3. Now we can take r out, it become r, and the rest will be inside, which is 2 root 3. That is your length for BC. This is shown as required, same as this. So shown as we need. Now let's move on to part B. Part B says to find the perimeter, the exact perimeter of the shaded region. So what does perimeter mean? It means we have to find the distance around this region. So we know BC is given by this, which is r minus 2 root 3. So we have to find the length of AB. AB is just the arc of this sector. So let's write this down. So perimeter is equal to CA plus AB plus BC. So we know these two already. We have to find AB. AB is actually equal to arc of sector AOB. So how to find length of arc is very simple. R theta. Radius is given by 2r. Theta is 1 over 6 pi. So it becomes r over 3 pi for the length of AB. Now we replace back in the equation. Perimeter will be equal to CA is given by, as you can see here, CA is given by r. So r plus AB, which is r over 3 pi, plus BC, as we have just found out, it is this value. Okay, so this will be your perimeter of this region. Now let's move on to part C. Find the exact area of the region. So how would you find the area of that region? So you'll first find the area of sector minus area of this triangle. Right. So area of sector OAB will be half r squared theta. Half r squared will be 2r squared. Theta will be 1 over 6 pi. Half times 4 r squared times 1 over 6 pi. So if you simplify, here we have 2, here we have 3. That becomes r squared over 3 pi. Now what is area of the triangle? Triangle OCB. Half sine the angle, which is 1 over 6 pi, times r and 2r. As you can see on the diagram, half of the angle times r and 2r. So now if you simplify, what is this value? So pi is 180 divided by 6. Sine of 30 will be 0.5. That will be 1 over 2 times 1 over 2 times r times 2r. These two cancel out, and you'll have r squared over 2. So the area of the region, so here we have to find the exact area of shaded region is equal to area of sector, which is r squared over 3 pi minus r squared over 2 centimeter square, and this is your answer for part C. And this is question number 7. Okay, so let's move on to question number 8. So here we have a diagram. So I think in the question this will be your region that is shaded in the question. Now it says the diagram shows part of the curve y equal to 6 over x. That's the curve that is given to you. Now it says the points 1, 6 and 3, 2 lie on the curve. The region shaded is bounded by the curve and the lines of this and this. Okay, we have this information. Now part 1, it says find the volume generated when the shaded region is rotated 360 about the y-axis. So whenever you see y-axis, you have to make sure that for your curve you have to make, so your curve is usually this over x. So when you see y-axis, you have to make x the subject of formula, that becomes 6 over y. Right. Now this area, this region, the volume will be volume of the curve being rotated minus volume of this being rotated. So if you rotate a line about the y-axis, it will become a cylinder, and the radius will be this length and the height will be this length. 6 minus 2 will be 4 for the height, and radius will be 1. So let's find volume of cylinder. Volume of it is unwanted cylinder. We have to minus this one, so we have to find its volume to minus. As you know, the formula is pi r square h. So pi r square is 1 square, h is 4, which is 4 pi units cube for the volume of the cylinder. Now, what will be the volume for this curve when it is rotated? Let's find that. So volume of shape of curve, of shape of, let's say, shape formed with curve. So we have a formula for this one. It will be integration of x squared times pi by dy, because we are rotating by the y-axis. Now, what are the limits? As you can see, limits will be this point to this point, which is 2 to 6. So 6, 2 will be our limits. Now, the value of x, as you can see, we have this here already. X squared will be equal to 6 to 36 over y squared times pi dy. You can simplify this to, let's take out these two outside. You'll have 36 pi, and you will have integration of 6 to, that will be y minus 2 dy. So let's simplify this. 36 pi. So how would you do that? You will do become minus 1 divided by 1, and that will become 6 and 2. 36 pi. So what is the value for this one? Let's see. So 1 by 1, 6. So minus 1 over 6. Then we have minus 1 over 2. So if you simplify, minus 1 over 6 plus half, that will be 1 over 3. So 36 pi times 1 over 3 equal to 12 pi. So now the volume generated is equal to this volume, 12 pi minus volume of cylinder that we do not want. So the answer will be 8 pi units cube. Units cube. This will be your answer for part A. Now let's move on to part B. Let's see what we have. It says the tangent to the curve at a point x is parallel to the line of this. So when something is parallel to a line, they have the same gradient. So we know the curve has equation y equal to 6 over x, which is 6 times x power minus 1. Right. Now the main point here is that the tangent to the curve is parallel. So what is the gradient of the tangent? So because it is parallel to this curve, the gradient will be, we have to express this in this form, it will be minus 2. This is what we have because it is parallel to this line. The gradient of the tangent will also be the same, which is minus 2. Now, how do you know? So gradient, you must know, gradient of a curve at the point will be always dy by dx. So first we have to find dy by dx. That will become minus 6, this, which is minus 6 over x squared equal to minus 2 as a point x. Now we have to cross multiply. You will have minus 6 equal to minus 2 x squared. So from this you will have x squared equal to 3. X will be root 3. Now for the value of y, you will have, replaced by on the curve, you will have 6 divided by root 3. Now what you can do, you can multiply by root 3 here and root 3 on top. That will become 6 root 3 divided by 3, which is 2 root 3. So the point x will become root 3 and 2 root 3. Right. Now this is your point x. So now you have to show that the point lie on this line. The line is equal to y equal to 2x. Now if you replace the x coordinate in this line, let's say y equal to 2 times root 3, which is 2 root 3. It is the same as this. So you have shown that it is lying on the curve. So this is your question, part B of this question number 8. Now let's move on to question number 9. Let's see what we have. It says the function f and g are such that f of x equal to 2 minus 3 sine 2x for this region. Now g of x will be equal to minus 2 f of x. Okay, so what is g of x? G of x will be the same as minus 4 and plus 6 sine of 2x. Right. If you just replace this, you will have this. Part 1, state the ranges of f and g. As you guys must know, sine 2x is always going to be between 1 and minus 1. Right. Now the range of f of x, so f of x, let's say f of x, the value of sine will be minus 1. That'll be 2 minus minus 1. 2 plus 3 will be 5. Now let's say the value will be plus 1. It will become 2 minus 3 minus 1. So clearly you can see f of x, which is the range, is between 5 and minus 1. So that is your first answer. Now moving on to part 2, g of x is this one. So same steps, g of x when the value of sine will be minus 1, minus 6 minus 1, that will be minus 10, and g of x when sine will be plus 1, that will be 2. So clearly your range will be minus 10 and it will be 2 for g of x. So these two will be your answer for the range. Just by replacing the values and finding the limits, you will find the range of each of the functions. Now the diagram shows a graph of y equal to f of x. Now we have to sketch the graph of y equal to g of x. So it's pretty easy. As you can see, from f to become g of x, it is minus 2. It means that we have to reflect this curve on the x-axis by a factor of minus 2, of 2 basically. The minus means a reflection in the x-axis, and 2 is the stretch factor. So let's do that. So let's use your ruler to first mark the points. So here we have 1 centimeter for this one. So reflection on the x-axis by 2. 1, 2, because of the stretch factor is 2 now. Now for this one, it is 0.5. So we have to reflect this by 2, which becomes a 1. So let's count 1 will be right here. Now same thing for this point right here. So the distance here was 2.5. We have to reflect this by 5. So from 3 that will become 8. So 5 will be right here, this point. And the last one here, this is 1. So we have to reflect by x-axis by 2, 1, 2, right here. Now let's join all the points. So let's make this as smooth as possible. So here we'll have to join with this one. So this one doesn't need to be exact, it's only a sketch. So it is okay if it's not as pretty, but you have to show the main points of what's happening. So that's connection with this one and this. Okay, that's it for y equal to g of x. Okay, so now moving on to part C, we have a function h is given by g of x plus this. Okay, so whenever you see plus, it means it is a shift by minus this in the x-axis, by the horizontal x-axis. Right. So let's see. Describe fully a sequence of transformation that maps f of x onto h of x. So as you know already, f of x was first matched onto g of x and then matched into h of x. So let's write one by one. So first we have to, as you can see, reflection in the x-axis, followed by a stretch of factor 2 in the direction of the y-axis, and finally we have to shift by, so when you see plus, it has to be minus pi in the horizontal x-axis. Okay, so that will be the sequence of transformation from f to h. And that is question number 9, I think. Yeah, number 9. Now let's move on to question number 10. So here we have the equation of a curve is y equal to 54x minus 2x minus 7 power 3. First one, find dy by dx, so pretty easy. Dy by dx will be given by 54 minus 3, 2x minus 7, 2 times 2 becomes 54 minus 6, 2x minus 7 power 2. Now let's find d2y by dx2. That becomes 0 minus 6 times 2, 2x minus 7 power 1, and then times 2 again. Yeah, so 2, 2, right, makes sense. That becomes minus 24, 2x minus 7, that will be your d2y by dx2. That is question part 1. Now find the coordinates of each of the stationary points. So you have to know that at stationary points, dy by dx is equal to 0. So let's equate that. We know dy by dx is equal to this function right here, equal to 0. Let's solve. We have 6, 2x minus 7 square equal to 54, which means 2x minus 7 square will be equal to 9, which means 2x minus 7 is equal to plus minus root of 9, which is plus minus 3. So for first value, 2x minus 7 will be 3, and 2x minus 7 will be minus 3. So x here will be 5, and x here will be, so let's do the math, that will be plus 7, 4, that will be 2. Now let's find the values of y. So for x equal to 5, the value of y will be, so we place back in this equation. So 54 times 5 minus 2 times 5 will be 10, minus 7 will be 3, power 3. That will be 243 for the value of x equal to 5. And x equal to 2, what is the value of y? Let's find out. That will become 54 times 2 minus 2 times 2 is 4 minus 7 is minus 4, sorry, minus 3, power 3 will be minus 27. That will be 135. So your points will be 5, 243, and you will have 2 and 135 for your 2 stationary points. Now for part C, determine the nature of each of those points. So how would you do that? You have to use your d2y by dx2. So first one, the first x value is 5. So d2y by dx2 is given by minus 24, 2x minus 7. So first value at dx2 at x equal to 5 will be minus 24, 2 times 5 minus 7 will be minus 24, that will be 3, which is minus 72, which is negative, which means this point will be a maximum point. Now for this one, d2y by dx2 at x equal to 2, that will be minus 24. 2 times 2 will be 4 minus 7 will be minus 3. That will be 7, 2, which is positive. It means that this point will be a minimum point. So that's how you show the nature of your stationary points. Now let's move on to question 11. So that will be the last question of this paper. So now we'll just need to read off the question. So in this case, we have to find what? It seems that we are trying to find the equation. We know the equation of a circle here. So we just need to know what is the equation of a circle. Usually that should be given to us, but if you don't know this, you will not be able to do this question. So you have to know what is the general formula for a circle. Here it was given to you already. Find the radius and the coordinates of C, which is the center of the circle. So the formula for the for the usual circle will be x minus h square plus y minus k square equal to r square, where r is the radius. So you have to know this formula to find these values. Now the first step is we can just expand those brackets. You will have x square minus 2hx plus h square, and plus y square minus 2ky plus k square equal to r square. Now simplify, you will have x square plus y square, 2 minus 2hx minus 2ky plus h square plus k square plus r square equal to 0. Now let's compare this with our equation here, which is x square plus y square minus 8x plus 4y minus 5. So now if you compare, you will see that these two are the same. So minus 2h equal to minus 8, which means h will be 4. This one, minus 2k equal to 4, so k will be minus 2. Now for this one, same thing here again. H square plus 4 plus k square plus r square is equal to minus 5. H square will be 16 plus 4 plus r square equal to minus 5. Sorry, if you bring r over here, it will become minus. So not plus but minus. So r square will become 20 plus 5, which is 25. Now r becomes root of 25, which is 5. So here the radius is equal to 5, and this point C, so h will be the first point, which is this, and this will be minus 2. That's your point C for the center of the circle. H and k, minus 2. 4 minus 2, and the radius is 5. That is part 1. Now part 2, it says the point P lies on the circle. That's important here. So part B, show that the equation of the tangent to the circle at P is given by this. So how do you find equation of tangent? You first have to find the gradient of tangent. So to find gradient, you have to find dy by dx. So now our equation is given by x squared plus y squared minus 8x plus 4y minus 5. So from this you have to find dy by dx. So let's do that. Differentiate this function with respect to x. That becomes 2x. It becomes 2y. So plus dy by dx minus 8 plus 4y becomes dy by dx minus 5 equal to 0. So 5 will go away because it is just a constant, so that will go away. So now let's factorize the dy by dx together. So these two, you will have dy by dx will be 2y plus 4, and then we will have 8 on one side minus 2x. So from this you can see dy by dx will become 8 minus 2x over 2y plus 4. So that will be dy by dx. So now you have to find the value. We know the point P is 1, 2. This is x and y. So what is dy by dx at the point P? That will be 8 minus 2 will be 6 over 2 times 2 is 4. That will be 8. So 3 over 4 will be the gradient at the point P. So since we have the gradient, we have the point as well. We can find the equation of the tangent. So y minus 2 over x minus 1 will be gradient, which is 3 over 4. Then we have to cross multiply. That will become 4y minus 8 becomes 3x minus 3. So solve 4y becomes 3x minus 3 plus 8 will be plus 5. So you can see this is the same as this, so shown as required. Now let's move on to part C. It says the point Q also lies on a circle and PQ is parallel to the y-axis. So y-axis is a horizontal line where the gradient is equal to 0. So if PQ is parallel to the x-axis, so it means that the gradients of PQ is also equal to 0. The point P is given by 1, 2. The point Q we don't know, which is x and y. So how do you find gradient? You use the formula y minus 2 over x minus 1 equal to 0. Then we cross multiply, you will have y minus 2 equal to 0. Y will be equal to 2. Now since you know the value of y, you can find the value of x by using the equation. So our equation of circle is given by x squared plus y squared minus 8x plus 4y minus 5 equal to 0. Oh, very simple. What you can do is, because as you know that okay, let's just use this one. It's much simpler to understand by using the equation, because if you were to think logically, it can be kind of tough to understand because we don't have a drawing. But let's just do this by equation. Value of y is 2. You will have x squared plus 4 minus 8 plus 8 minus 5 equal to 0. From this you will have x squared minus 8x, and you will have plus, so let's check. So we have 4 plus 8 minus 5. That will be plus 7. So let's solve. We have brackets. X squared is x times x. 7 is 7 times 1. For us to get minus 8, has to be minus 7 minus 1. Value of x will be 7, or it can be 1. But since 1 is already belongs to the point P, so that's only 1 remaining, so the value of x will be x. So now because of this, your value of Q as a point will be x, 7, and 2. That will be your point Q. So that was the easiest way to go to find the two values possible for this one. Now question part D. The tangents to the circle at P and Q meets at T. Find the coordinates of T. So you guys know already from part B, the tangent at P is given by 4y equal to 3x plus 5. So now we have to find tangent at Q. So since we know dy by dx from part B is given by 8 minus 2x divided by 2y plus 4, you can use the point Q, which is 7, 2, to find dy by dx first. Dy by dx, what does this mean? It means the gradient. That's all that it means. So that will be 8 minus 2 times x, which is 7, divided by 8. That will be minus 6 over 8, which is minus 3 over 4. Let's use the point x and y. That will become y minus 2 over x minus 2, x minus 7, sorry, equal to minus 3 over 4. If you cross multiply, you will have 4y minus 8 equal to minus 3x plus 21, which is 4y equal to minus 3x plus 29. So this will be the equation of tangent at Q. So now you can see that the tangent to a circle at P and Q meets at T. Find T. So T is the point of intersection of this tangent with this tangent. So here we have 4y, here we have 4y. We can replace. That becomes 3x plus 5 equal to minus 3x plus 29. Send 3x over here, you'll have 6x become 29 minus 5 will be 24. So 6x, x will be 24 divided by 6, which is 4. Now, what is the value of y? So we know that 4y equal to minus 3x, which is 4, plus 29, which is minus 12, plus 29. That will be 17. So y will be 17 over 4. As you can see, the point T will become x, which is 4, and y will be 17 over 4. Alright, so that will be the last question of this paper. So okay, that was it. I hope that was somewhat helpful. And as always, thank you for watching. And if you guys have any questions, please let me know. I'll get back to you. Have a good day. Thank you. Bye-bye.